right. Welcome to the Booze and the Bees.
We're some people.
Yeah, and
we talk.
Thanks so much for listening to us talk. We really, truly appreciate y'all.
Look, someone's got to do it.
Someone's got to talk?
No, someone's got to listen to us talk.
Oh, yeah. That's why I'm saying thank you.
Yeah.
Because
someone's got to do it.
Yeah. And we're glad that y'all do.
And it's you.
Oh my gosh. All right. So this episode, we're going to talk about, I guess, having a positive mindset, because I have history of having a really negative mindset in the past. And one of my boos, Paris Moon, she asked what made me change my mindset, and was it like a drastic change in my life, or because you've noticed, like, I feel like it's night and day. I'm gonna stop saying like.
Yeah. Ooh. It's the next challenge.
My gosh, you guys, you don't know how hard it is.
It's literally every word. I said it was like every other word. It's tough for both of us. It's just part of our vernacular. Do you know the word vernacular?
I would never use it. I was guessing it's like vocabulary.
It is vocabulary, but I couldn't think of the word for vocabulary. And
is vernacular an actual word?
Vernacular is the word.
Oh.
Yeah.
It means vocabulary?
Yeah, it's part of the words you use. Vocabulary is like all the words, and vernacular is like the words you use. I know. I see. I don't know how many other people know that word.
Vernacular.
I was trying to think of another word for vernacular so I didn't have to confuse the audience.
That's funny. I should do like a series. Oh my God. I should do a series where I get jazzy and you teach me new words every day.
New words? I like know 7. I like know them.
Now we're noticing it.
Well, noticing is the first part. That actually goes into the how to change your mindset.
Noticing, nice.
Noticing your mindset, like noticing the word like when it's not used properly.
I don't know if I've ever used it properly. Just improperly. I'm focusing so hard to not say it.
Oh, it's tough. Now it's like the only thing on your mind. It's like the only thing on your mind. This is terrible news.
The like episode.
This is just the like podcast.
I mean, it's been every episode. I've been editing our clips and looking at the captions.
They're all like.
And I'm like, and I'm reading them and I see like almost every other word.
This should be an episode on how not to say like. And the conclusion is we don't have the answer for you. But at least we're aware of it.
No, it really is a good transition, though. It does relate to the topic.
It totally relates to the topic.
Sometimes it's really hard for me to think. There's no specific moment where I was like, okay, I'm done being depressed. Yeah. I'm done being negative.
How would you do that, right? I don't think there's anything in life that you can just say, okay, I'm done. This is me now.
Yeah, I'm just going to switch.
I'm just going to be buff tomorrow from years of not being buff. So it's like I'm going to be mentally powerful after years of not being mentally powerful.
People forget it's the same thing like your body. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a daily exercise.
And it's really hard to exercise it. So it's doing daily, whatever helps you turn a negative thing into a positive thing. That's what I try to tell people to do is if there's something negative, turn it into a positive. And I'm trying to think of an example. But recently, what we've been doing is any negative thing that happens, any kind of inconvenience or whatever, we just say that something positive is going to happen.
And then something does.
And something does. So I feel like it's the same way with your mind. If you're thinking negatively, you're just going to produce more negativity. And focusing on the negative doesn't fix it. Ever.
Yeah. And I have an idea on that too. What if it's actually like this? Bad stuff is going to happen and good stuff is going to happen.
Right.
But you choose what you notice more.
Yeah.
Just like the word like. See, that would be an actual appropriate use. Just like. It's to say something is similar.
Thanks.
Yeah. That's the only time it's correctly used. But if you notice it, then you're going to fixate on it. So if you spend all day looking for the negatives, which will happen every single day of your life.
I used to be like that. I used to be only looking for the negatives.
Then you'll ignore the good.
I don't know why.
And if you just ignore the bad, and not necessarily ignore it, deal with it like it's a problem to be dealt with.
Yeah.
But deal with the problem, get over the problem, and then start looking for the good again, you're going to find it. Because it also happens every day. And the more you tackle the bad things and get them taken care of. Taking the trash out on time could be your start. Maybe your house is just messy, and that's where you begin, is cleaning your room.
One little thing.
Whatever stage you're at and whatever the negativity is that you're dealing with, deal with it as best you can, and then focus on finding the positives, because they are there.
Exactly. And take action steps. If you can't take action steps for this negative thing that is making you feel this way, then you thinking about it isn't going to change it either. It already happened. Yep. So take action steps, or like you said, move on. Yeah. Let it go. Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go.
If there are no action steps, you're not working on yourself. There's a lot of people I've heard say, oh, I'm going to work on this. Oh, I'm trying to work on that. Mm-hmm. And you say, how? Well,
yeah.
I'm just working on it.
No action steps.
There's no action step. Are you going to get up an hour earlier? Are you going to cook your own food instead of eating out? Or what is the thing that you're doing that's helping? And set goals. Say, okay, what's my end goal? I want to brush my teeth, floss, and work out. Well, maybe you can do that all in one day because it's a simple goal. Maybe you can't. And you just say, I'm just going to floss tonight. And just practice that for a week and see if I can floss for a week. Just start with the small things, and then you can add on to it as you go.
Yeah, and take care of yourself, because I remember when I would be depressed, I would not take care of myself. Brush my teeth, do my hair, none of that. It would just...
Look, I still don't. They see my messy mustache every day.
Well, no, I'm not put together either, but I'm just saying...
And worse.
I would stay in bed. I would scroll TikTok. I would not do anything to make myself feel good. And I would lay in bed and be like, why don't I feel better? Like, my mind is just, I'm just stuck in this negative cycle, and I'm not doing anything to actually get out of it. And sometimes it's okay to have those days where you want to scroll and be lazy, but it's definitely not something you want to do every day. And that was a cycle that I was getting into, and I was newly getting into jazz cabbage, so I was toking a lot and 4 blunts a day, so I was super no energy and not. And I feel like I was probably just trying to go numb, honestly, at one point, and not feeling. You can't do that. You have to.
Yeah, and that's one thing I noticed too, is when she was going through that transition, she probably lived many years wanting to be numb and using alcohol and escapism to do that. And when we got together, we pretty quickly both stopped drinking, and she started the jazz cabbage. And after she started that, it was sort of the new consumption. And so, she said, it went above and beyond to go back to being numb again. And it just full circled into, well, there's still underlying problems to address. And once you actually work on those problems through action steps, like taking care of yourself, like eating healthier, like spending more time with your kid when you can, all that helps you get out of the funk. And then to use things like cabbage to have healthier habits. Especially because when you're drinking, you're acutely sick the next day. You choose to be sick.
That's what I wanted to adjust. So I used to do jazz cabbage to feel numb, and now... But back then I didn't know how to handle my anxiety on my own. So now if I have anxiety, I make myself not smoke. I'm probably already jazzy because I usually, if I can.
A little jazzy, not super jazzy.
But if I'm in a moment, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm really anxious. I purposely now don't do it, because that was just a way for me to not think. And I need to be able to listen to my body and be like, why am I anxious? Because it's not for no reason. And sometimes it feels like it's no reason, but there is a reason. Something triggered your brain to make your body feel anxious, or your mind feel anxious, whatever. But you have to learn how to address it on your own. But also having you to communicate with really helped. So maybe finding a community of people to be a little more open with, and finding people to relate to, like hopefully us, helps you realize that you're not crazy in your head. I would very much feel like that a lot. I'm the only one that thinks like this, and no, people
go through hard times.
People go through hard times, and the mind can be really harsh on yourself. So be kinder to yourself.
Yeah, something that happened with me a lot was that well, worse things happen to other people. Like there was a time I was homeless and I would have a hot dog bun and an egg with hot sauce a day because that's all I could get. And I would be sleeping on somebody's floor. And I was like, but it's still not bad. And I'm like, why do I deserve worse? Can't I make my situation better?
Yeah.
Right. And so that's something you might get caught up in, is thinking it's like, dang it, that you're not going through enough to still have feelings about it. And getting rid of those thoughts could help to say, I am deserving of feelings, and I feel bad for a reason. And even though it might not be as bad as other people's reasons, it's still important to you and it still matters to you, so you can solve that problem.
Definitely.
It's not good to say, well, it has to be worse before I tackle the issue.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the most unfortunate person in life to overcome a struggle for you.
Right.
Some people might struggle with the homelessness problem. Some people might be like, I chipped a nail. And that's the worst thing that's ever happened to them.
Oh, yeah.
And it's still okay. It may be silly to some people, but to you it's important. So maybe tackle that.
Yeah. And some people, my chat today was talking about being sensitive, and I would definitely consider myself a sensitive person. And, oh no, I forgot where I was going.
You're a sensitive person.
No, I know, but what were you saying?
You chipped a nail.
Oh, I remember, like, I've had a lot of traumatic things happen in my past, but I would say, like, I feel like the switch happened for me, not really being too negative. I don't know, 2 years ago, I feel like 2-3 years ago. Because we were together for a good part of it.
Where were you going, though? I'm so confused.
Well, now I don't remember.
Okay, you were talking to chat about chip nails. Now you're talking about when you stop being negative.
Oh, yeah. I was just trying to get to the point, like, not that long ago, the really small things would make me really anxious, and then it would ruin my entire day.
Yeah, and it brings everyone else down around you, which actually ruins your day, you know? Because when your community is miserable, you're more miserable for a reason. So you have no reason to be miserable, and now you have a real reason to be miserable, and you're kind of reinforcing the misery. You're like, I knew it.
Definitely.
I knew today was going to be bad because I chipped my nail, and I was bummed, and I got home, and my family's upset, and everyone's mad at me, and my boss hates me, and that person complained about me at work. What did I do wrong? And you were probably mean at work, right? Because you were having a bad day. And I'm not saying you in particular.
Oh, no, I know.
I'm just trying to say, people out there will make something small bigger, and it actually causes downstream effects of your life. And so being able to put away the small stuff and just move on. Oh, I chipped my nail. It's going to stink. People are going to make fun of me. Maybe someone does laugh at you. Then move on, because it's going to be a lot worse to be negative about it all day, because now you have the chipped nail and everyone thinks you're grumpy.
Yeah.
That's way worse.
That's what I wrote down. I was like, be kinder to yourself and your partner, because being able to communicate those feelings, you can do that, but still remember your partner's on your side and there to build you up. So advice they give you might not be what you want to hear, but it's what you have to hear. And you have to take it in a positive way and keep going. Like, just keep going through the day. It's not... usually is not a situation to have to stress and talk and be negative and down like all day, all week. Usually can be resolved pretty quickly, but I know communication is just really hard for people. Yeah,
that seems like a different topic too. This one is particular to your partner. If you're having insecurities, maybe talk about a personal experience of yours, and that'll help people relate to the story.
Wait, what was I saying that wasn't on topic?
No, it just seems like you moved on to a different topic about talking specifically to your partner and getting over things quickly. Because there was a lot of times you'd be in your head and I'd have to drag it out of you, which is, what is wrong? Nothing's wrong. Well, and it's like hours of dragging in high energy. And then you finally say what's wrong, and then we have to tackle it. But it could have just been handled in 15 seconds, hours ago.
Yeah, and I think that could be applied to anybody, though. Even if you have to talk to yourself, if you have no one to talk to, be able to, when something makes you feel negative, just try to address it right away. And like I said, either the action step or talk to your partner, or talk to a friend, someone that you need a good opinion on. But yeah, that definitely didn't help when I would just push him away and not want to address it. And I don't know, I think I would get like that because I'm just afraid of starting stuff, but then in reality I'm just still starting stuff because I'm not addressing it, and he knows that there's something wrong. And then, like you said, then the whole day is dragged on, and then I finally address it. I can't think of like a certain specific situation, but then it's usually resolved really quickly. And then it's like, or sometimes it's not, and it's a little bit more emotional, but because I dragged it on all day, I'm just more emotional about whatever it may be.
Yeah, and we'll get better at telling stories, because anecdotes definitely help people remember, right? If someone was
tonight I'm having a hard time talking for some reason.
Sure, that just happens. We're doing these every day, so it can get tough. We've had a very long day for both of us working. But
I mean, I'm trying. I still can't think of like specifics for like a story, but
yeah. So let's just go on to the question: what made you change your mindset? I mean, that's probably just, it's miserable to be miserable.
Yeah.
And if you're miserable, you probably know it.
You have to make the change. Nobody else is going to be like, okay, it's time for you to change. No one's going to say a magical thing. You are the only person that can start changing your mindset.
Yeah, one thing that really helped me was just to acknowledge that you are completely alone in fixing your own behavior. Like, only you can change your mind. And it really helped me, and this is why I'm talking on my experience in particular, to say, I have to do this, and nobody can help me do this. And I'm alone, and I won't be saved. Because then you can just cut the safety leash and say, I have to do this myself, and I have to overcome my own feelings and my own emotions myself. Because my partner can help, but I can't make you fix me. I have to do the fixing.
Exactly. Yeah, because I was going to say,
so cutting the cord kind of helps.
There are people who could help you in a way, I guess, with talking and stuff.
But it can also tether you. It can chain you. It can enable you to stick to bad behaviors. And so what really helped me was to say, nobody can fix this but me. And my purpose could be my family. So you help support that because it's a reason. You're a why. But I have to do it.
Yeah.
I have to make those mental changes myself. Nobody's going to save me. I'm going to be miserable forever because there is no superhero to fix this, or I become the superhero and I fix it.
Yeah, that's what I had to do, because I had Minnie, I had you for a good while, and I was still miserable and just so down and hard on myself. And I mean, not like I'm cured. Ooh, I'm positive all the time now. And
it's an exercise.
I haven't really gotten to the deep roots of it. Like, I've done some therapy, and it never really helped me. Just never found the right therapist. But
it's just like exercise. You can make a six-pack, and does it mean you're going to have a six-pack forever? No. You still have to practice for beach season every season of your life. And that's the same thing with your mind, is to treat it like your body. Because guess what? Your brain is actually made of meat, and inside of your body, it is your body. Meat. Yeah. So you have to exercise it. You have to practice doing this every day. You are not going to be cured. And that's another thing that can help you. You will not be cured from your misery. That is life. It's not going to be fixed. It is something you work out at.
You can control it.
You can exercise it. You can get better.
Like an exorcism.
Yeah, exercise, your head turns around, and you vomit everywhere. Blah.
Get the demons out.
Yeah.
It does feel like demons. It's crazy how dark your mind can get. So if you're being really hard on yourself, stop it. Just remember, everybody's human. You can't compare yourself to people. We're all going through our own journeys on our own time. So, like, enjoy your journey. Because if you don't believe in reincarnation, you only got one of them. So.
And if you do, why waste one of them?
Yeah, that too.
I mean, literally, go for it. Another thing that can also, I think, help me a lot is the fact that there's old people got rich way later in life. Like certain ones, like Anthony Bourdain. He was a line chef until his 50s, until he got his break writing an article in a newspaper, and then became a multimillionaire traveling the world, eating food and having TV shows and writing and living the dream. And you're saying, well, he was already in his 50s as someone who literally had nothing to his name. He wasn't even like a top chef. He was like a normal burger flipping guy. You know, he wasn't head chef of anything. It wasn't a career. It's like a job where he wears an apron, smells like fries, and doesn't have anything good to his name.
Right.
And he wrote about how bad that made him feel, and then blew up out of nowhere. Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC, that guy was into his 60s after losing everything multiple times.
Wow, yeah.
You know, so to say I can't succeed because I'm already blank age or I've been through X circumstances and they're so hard to deal with, just say it will only if I truly spent 5 years of my time starting at any age to do something and really put your heart and soul into it, you can accomplish tremendous things.
Yeah. You can't give up.
5 years can literally change someone's life. 5 years always changes someone's life. It always does. No matter what you do, your life will change in 5 years.
Exactly.
If you do nothing, it'll change for the worse. If you do something, it'll change for the better.
And I think I don't know if, I'm sorry if this kind of took a weird turn. I'm still on the mindset topic, but I feel like finding hobbies helps people with not always being negative, or like, because I'm always doing something now with my brain.
List some of your hobbies. Make it personal. It's easier when you tell a story.
Well, I work a lot, so I'm just always either making content or thinking of content to make, or I'm with Minnie, or I'm with you, and I play video games, and I watch TikTok, and I play with my cat.
Yeah, but even watching TikTok, you don't just mindlessly consume TikTok often. She does from time to time, but when she's searching on TikTok, she's looking at what kind of videos are doing good. How can I apply different camera angles? How can I make my audio a little better, you know, to be inspired, but still to be yourself and actually care about the audience.
Or I'm live, and a thing that he tries to have me do sometimes when I'm anxious is he'll say, you should go live because your chat makes you feel better.
Oh, all
and
the
they
time.
always do.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just refuse because I'm punishing myself. I'm like, no, I'm going to be
why
grumpy.
punish yourself?
I don't know.
But some people want
some
to.
People
but
think
some people
they
want
don't
to all the time.
Deserve to be happy. I don't know.
And that's what I was getting at earlier, is that sheesh. But that's what I was getting at earlier, that some people literally say, my life is not the worst, and therefore I deserve worse than this. Doesn't matter if you're not the worst. Could it be better? And can you improve it?
That's funny.
That's the real thing.
I didn't have that mindset.
I had that mindset for a long time because I had a lot of bad things happen. I said, well,
and that's
it
funny
could be
that
worse.
You thought it could. Yeah, because you were being homeless. I couldn't even imagine. I had different troubles.
Yeah.
In my past, but
and that's the thing, and that's why telling personal experiences is really helpful, because it's impossible to be general and actually touch every audience, because certain people have been through different things. So being able to touch
sometimes
on the
I get nervous talking about the past
I know,
and traumas and bringing up stuff that could also affect other people and stuff too. Sometimes I hold back.
And that's one of those fears. Maybe we work on holding back less or opening up a little bit more, and that can help us grow. Like, both of us have different stories that we could be telling. And having this kind of platform helps open up. And that's another thing. We're doing this and it's helping us grow as people and helping us express more and open up more.
And just be better people in general, because we struggle with just like talking like normal human beings. But everybody does. So, I mean, not everybody. Some people are pretty good at talking.
Everyone started not good at talking. Everyone started not good at talking. In fact,
no one was out the womb like
100% of all humans started not being able to talk. Every single one of them. So if you're out there being, oh no, I can't talk. Well, neither did anybody you've ever met at some point, and they learned how to.
And also, don't let your traumas define you.
Yeah.
A lot of people let their traumas define them, or whatever they could find negative about themselves define their whole being. Like, it's one small part of you. I was diagnosed with panic disorder, PTSD, and anxiety. And I don't talk about it much because I don't really like to say, like, oh, that's what I'm diagnosed with.
I guess I can't fix it
this
ever.
This is me as a person. And I don't want people to start seeing me as this anxious being, which I know I can be sometimes. But I don't want that to define my personality. So I don't talk about it often. And I know a lot of people who will be like, oh, I have this disability or this trauma, and that's why I'm this way. Like, okay, I understand, but
guess you're doomed forever.
You gonna fix it? You know,
And if you can't fix it, it's like, oh, I'm in a wheelchair. Well, you can't fix being able to walk.
Yeah, but you can fix your mindset.
But you can fix your mindset. One of our good friends when I was in college was in the wheelchair Olympics.
That's cool.
And he played tennis. He's a world-class tennis player. And so even though he was in a wheelchair, he learned to live through it. And he was one of the few people who found love in college and married them and has a wonderful family now. So he could have been down about it, that he had a degenerative disease that was slowly taking his walking. So he could walk up and down stairs, but once a day. And then he had to be in his wheelchair the rest of the day, so he would sit and play video games. But he had a wonderful family, a wonderful group of friends, and was a world-class athlete in wheelchair tennis, as he knew he was slowly going to be able to never walk again. So you can think of it as, wow, my life is horrible. I'm never going to walk again. I'm going to do nothing about it, and then grow older and not walk again. Or you can say, wow, I'm not going to walk again. I better get really good at this wheelchair stuff, and did, and had a bunch of great friends doing it. So you're dealt the cards that you have, but you don't have to be a victim to those cards. You can move on and grow. Because you have two options. You're going to get older either way. One of those ways you're miserable, the other you're not miserable. Pick the one that leads you to less misery. Both are going to have struggles.
Right. That reminds me of kind of like my stepdad, who had a really troubled past, and then when he was with my mom in the beginning, he got into a motorcycle accident and lost one of his legs, and so he already doesn't have like the most positive mindset. So really, that held him back, and definitely used to not walk much in his prosthetic and stuff, and was bound to his wheelchair and super down. And I remember seeing other people who would like have the same, kind of accident, or, they lost the same part of their leg and stuff, and seeing them being athletes and stuff. And I realized, like, it really is, it's a mindset. You have to like tell yourself, like, I can do anything still. If I put my mind to it. That's your biggest muscle that you need to do anything.
And now he's been more active. He's actually gotten acting gigs because of the disability.
He's been happier because working on himself. So been walking a lot more and stuff.
And you can take the negative as a positive. He got some acting gigs because of the leg.
Exactly.
And
he definitely works it now.
Yeah. And so if you really think about it, and that's one of our mantras that we've been saying recently. And yeah, we do mantras. We had to remind ourselves daily of what we're trying to work on so that we can address it. And part of those is to be positive, and that every bad thing is a good thing. If something bad happens, take responsibility for it, work on it. I accidentally broke something at work. It stunk. It took many hours to fix. It's not fixed all the way. It's going to be a costly fix. And I just said, I have to take responsibility for this, make it a safe environment, and fix the problem. And I can dwell on this all day and bring it home, or I can come home, be with my family who I want to be with, and make the work environment as safe as it can be, given I work in a difficult and dangerous industry. Well, do the best with what we can. We can't control everything. And to take the lesson, why was it a good thing? Well, maybe I needed to learn to be a little bit more patient, slow down, think about things, because I tried to rush something and I didn't notice something. And just because I didn't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So it's slowing down, addressing what's important, being safe, and just to take that on with us. So we do our daily mantras. Every bad thing's a good thing. Him losing his leg, it's a bad thing, but could it be a good thing in the future?
Well,
sure.
it kept them together.
Well, there you go. See, it could have been a really great thing. So you may as well look at the positive side of life.
But then we could just go down a whole rabbit hole from there. But
we're not talking about that today. And like for me, I was in a car accident. I rolled through 2 poles in a tree and landed upside down. I used to be one of the strongest in legs at my high school. We used to have a C shape, and on the left side of the C were all the weak kids, and on the right side were all the athletes, and I was on the very right-hand side with all the sport athletes. And I would do my leg day there. And after my accident, I went for my warm-up reps, and my knees buckled completely. And I was like, well, that's it. I've hurt myself. I'm injured. I can never be good again. And I used that and identified as somebody with an injury and decided that I can't work on myself. Well, all that meant was I have to work harder than other people to do the same thing. But time keeps going on, and I kept getting more stiff, more overweight, less strength in my knees and legs. And what's that life going to lead to? Misery. So will I ever be the world's strongest person because I hurt my knees? Probably not. But could I be a more active person by working harder than a normal person would have to work? Yeah, I might even be better. And so I've been doing a lot of very knee-specific exercises, and it's actually been making leaps and bounds. And I just thought to myself, if I had been doing this since my injury, I would have been better than where I had started then. Because at that point, I was only 17. So by now, if I had been working out as a full adult who actually knows how to work out, even with a knee injury, would be past where I was then. And that just goes to show anything that's holding you back can become a positive if you make it a positive and work at it. So work at your faults.
I think some things can also be negatives, but you can also just like put them behind. Because I can think of some things that were negative and I can't really find the positive out of it. But it's besides maybe a life lesson, or sometimes I feel like maybe you just have to go through some hard times to make yourself stronger. I don't know. But because I know some people are probably going to listen and think, well, this situation, really, I cannot find the positive out of it. And like, that's okay. I think that's okay. There's some stuff, there's just no positive thing. Like some shit happens and now you're stronger because of it. Or, now you're wiser. I don't know.
Look, we've met billionaires. We met one.
We have? Oh.
Yeah, we have.
Oh.
And they were miserable. They had harmed themselves.
Oh.
They had wished for their parents to be unalive for will money. They had a driver that dropped them off in a $400,000 car. He had multiple $1 million cars. And he was absolutely the most miserable person we've ever met and had more problems than almost anybody and had to go through 0 hardships that I would consider a hardship.
Right.
And a lot of people that go through things that are truly horrific do have internal strength from it. And it makes them a better person. Mm-hmm. And though it might be a negative that's just negative, your own will and perseverance and own perspective can actually help others not have to deal with that and still find happiness in their life and still find strength. So it makes you become a teacher in strength. And so even if it takes you your entire life to realize that the pain you endured went out to help hundreds of thousands of people potentially, but you won't know that until you're 60 and actually reach 100,000 people and teach them that, then it's just going to seem like a negative. And like you say, you have to leave it behind and just know that the strength you gained is enough to say it's a positive. Because you can be handed everything and still have nothing inside.
Right.
So even though it didn't have to be as bad, nobody lives a perfect life. Some people live better lives than yours. And some people have worse lives than yours. It's not good to say, I lived anyone else's life. And like you say, some bad things are just bad. But you can be stronger from it.
And I liked that. You could teach I think even helping one person is really valuable.
And even if that one person is you, helping you get over something, that can be enough.
No, I know, but I'm saying if you can't find
a positive,
but
you might help someone else,
one person,
that can be enough. Yeah,
that would be enough for me if I could help people, for sure.
Yeah, and you're working on it, and you're still thinking of how to open up and how to tell stories of what you've been through. And there's no point in rushing anybody. That's not what we're trying to tell anyone to do either, is go at your own pace, but give yourself room to grow. Be easy on yourself and know that every bad thing is a good thing, even if you never find out why.
I think that's a good place to end it. You ready?
Yeah, it's going to be hard to laugh on this one. It's a serious note.
I know.
Yeah. So do we make a goofy face when we say it?
Oh,
Go far. Didn't work. I knew it would work. Can't stop me. Guffaw. Yeah.
Guffaw out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. Guffaw.
Hey,
was just laughter.
Watch where you're walking, huh?
I'm walking here.